Welcome to Rick Rack Ruby. I'm Laura Cluvo. After making this large ruffled angel yesterday, I had quite a few little gathered strips left over. So I thought I would take the leftover strips and use them up in these smaller angels. They're fun and easy, so let's get started. After making the large ruffled angel yesterday, I am left with some leftover pieces, and these are really fun to work into just smaller angel ornaments. I like to kind of determine which is going to be the shortest and then which are longer. This is longer and this is longer. Okay, so I like to have at least 6 inches of length when measured at the pleated end, and that is about the right amount, at least that big, to go around the neck for the collar. And so I and they'll all be a little bit different. I think this one's a little bit shorter. Let's start with this one. So as long as this is at least 6 inches, this is about 7. So I'll try to make 2. I'll start with this one, and then I think I'll use this. And then with red thread, I'm just going to overlap this and stitch this longer ruffle along the bottom edge. Then hopefully I'll still have enough for the second one. But we're just going to make one right now. So I'm going to overlap this. Actually, I'm going to go this way. I like to pay attention to the direction of the pleats because it's just easier to sew where the pleats are folded like this, not where you're going to bump against them. So I'm going to top stitch halfway between this line and the edge here. And I'm just going to join this to this, and then I'm going to cut off whatever I have left over. Here's how it looks. So I'm going to cut this off right here. And you can see how there's 2 rows of this red stitching. And then I'll just fold this over and seam this together. There we go. Now I'll turn it right side out. That looks about right. And I'm going to set that aside for a minute. Now to make the angel, it's just like any other Rick Rack Ruby angel. This is a 20mm head bead. I've already created the face, and you can find the face. You can find the instructions for the Rick Rack Ruby face in my Focus on Faces video. Then I have this 6-inch tool, and this is the really filmy kind. I'm going to take 2 lengths of this tool. This is too long. You don't really need more than about 12 or 15 inches, 2 pieces. And then fold it in half, so total of 4 lengths. And then I'm going to tie it off with 1/16 inch ribbon. And that's also about 12 to 15 inches. And tie this off in the center. And then thread this through the head from the bottom to the top. Pull it down over the tool like this. And then add a little bit of hot glue in the back. And then slide that on. There's a little bit too much glue. Just until that knot is right there at the top of the head. This is going to become the hanging loop. So I'm going to tie this off at the end here and trim. Here's a doubled strand of heavy-duty crafting thread, and I like to use a thimble. I'm going to gather up the top edge, and I'm sewing about halfway between the line, the gathering line, and the top edge of the fabric. So I'm gathering this up just with a running stitch, 2 strands. Then I'm going to put this inside and draw up the gathers around her neck with the seam in the back. And then that looks good. Then I'm going to wrap and stitch through to secure and to make sure that the, you know, the dress stays up close to her chin there. And then I'm going to secure the thread in the back. There we go. See, I had plenty of this tulle. Now I'm going to trim it a little bit longer than the skirt. And then for her collar, I'm going to cut a piece of flat lace, just ungathered lace, 12 or 15 inches. And then with the same thread, I'm going to use this to gather up the top straight edge of the lace. I'm going to fold back the first edge and secure the thread like this, right there. And then gather. I'm gathering right below the header. Your lace does not have to look exactly like mine. Just use something flat and anywhere from probably 3/8 to 7/8 of an inch wide. Even an inch is fine. There we go. Now I'm going to pull that tight and put that around her chin, around her neck, and secure it in the back, sewing through the other end like that. I distribute the fullness evenly just to make sure that the, you know, the sides look the same. That looks good. Then I'm going to stitch through to the front, back to the back, and I'll secure the thread in the back. That looks good. Now for the hair, I'm going to do this super easy figure 8 method. And if it's not completely clear here, I do have a video called Ruby's Hair Technique. Okay, so hold the end with your left hand if you're right-handed, and then wrap around your fingers like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm going to do 5, but depending on your yarn, you could do more or less. Then I'm going to wrap around the center and tie it off. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get loops on either side, tied off in the center. Here's one. I'm going to do 2 of these little bundles. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5, and cut that off and wrap all the way around with this piece. Then with the original piece, the first end, I'm going to tie this off in the center. Sorry. Okay, I got to focus here. Okay. That looks good. I'm going to cut that off. I don't want to cut these ends too short because I don't want it to come undone. So I have 2 bundles. The first one I'm going to glue to the back of her head. So I'm going to squeeze out some hot glue on the back, like a circle on the back. Like a circle, but it's filled in, so it's more like a penny. And then I'm going to press that hair into that circle. I want it to be nice and secure. There will be wings that cover this, so it doesn't have to be super neat, but you do want to cover the bead. And then this will be for the front. So I'm going to squeeze out a little bit of glue right here, just in front of the ribbon right here. Then I'll place this bundle like the knot of the bundle, so the center of the bundle right there. And then I'm going to twist this toward the back. I'll squeeze out a line of glue from here to here and then press this into the glue. Just like this. And the same thing on this side. Twist toward the back maybe 2 or 3 twists, and then a line of hot glue right here, and then just press that into the glue. That looks good. Now we'll add her halo. Cut off about 2 or 3 inches. Then I like to use my thimble to wrap around and create sort of a U shape. And then I'm going to add some glue on each end, like that. And then just press that into her hair for a halo. That looks good. Now I've already prepared some wings. Here they are. I cut this out on my die cutting machine, and then I zigzagged with a contrasting thread, and I have these already prepared. I also have a video that describes several ways to make these wings. I'm going to squeeze out a little penny of glue, a penny of glue right here. Then I'm going to press it onto the back of her head. That looks good. Now I'll add a bow from this red and white baker's twine. I like to sew the bow on. I usually cut the twine longer than I need it to be, about twice the length of the dress, each side. There's my bow. And then I'm going to trim these off just above the hem and tie the ends into overhand knots. That looks good. And then I'm going to add one of these little holly, they're like glitter holly stickers right here. I'm going to add a touch of glue. They do have adhesive, but I just never trust the adhesive. It's designed for paper, probably not exactly for this, but there, that looks great. And our angel is done. Thank you for watching my tutorial. If you're enjoying my videos, please like, share, and subscribe.